Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Cosmos. Tonight, we are going to wander together toward a question that has a strange kind of tenderness folded inside it. A question that sounds at first like a riddle, and then, the longer you rest with it, begins to feel almost like a homecoming. The question is this: what if we are the aliens? What if the strangers we have been searching for, out there among the far and scattered stars, turn out to be us? What if the very thing we call earthly, ordinary, familiar, human, is itself the great cosmic oddity, the unlikely visitor, the improbable arrival, the face at the window of the universe that some other world might one day glimpse and wonder about? The way we have wondered about them, hold that lightly. You do not need to solve it. You only need to let it drift alongside you. The way a thought drifts across the edge of sleep, half-formed, unhurried, asking nothing of you at all. We are going to move through this slowly tonight, in no rush whatsoever, because there is nowhere to be and nothing to reach, and no finish line waiting at the end of these hours. We will touch 4 wide themes as we go, and I will name them now only so that some hushed part of you knows the shape of the journey, even as the rest of you begins to loosen and let go. We will think about what it actually means to be alien, and how that word turns and reverses the more you look at it. We will think about how life like ours came to be here at all, the long, patient, astonishing chain of accidents and inheritances that led to you, lying here, breathing, alive. We will think about the searching we have done, the great listening we have aimed at the sky, and what it feels like to be both the seeker and, perhaps, the thing being sought. And we will think about scale, about the sheer immensity of everything, and how that immensity, far from being frightening, can hold you the way a vast, warm dark holds a sleeping child. If you find somewhere in these hours that this helps you rest, then a like or a subscribe helps the channel reach others who are also lying awake right now, in other rooms, in other cities, under the same slow-turning sky, looking for something to carry them down into sleep. That is all. There is no need to do it now. Your hands can stay exactly where they are, heavy and easy, and still. Because none of this is anything you need to hold on to. Not the ideas, not the words, not the question itself. Let them pass through you like weather. This is the part where you begin to arrive, not anywhere out there, but here, in your own body, in this bed, in this dark. Settle in. Let your shoulders ease down, away from your ears, down toward the mattress, letting the day's small tensions slide off them like water. Let your jaw soften. Let the space between your eyebrows smooth itself out. Let your breath find its own slow rhythm, without you needing to manage it or measure it, or make it anything other than what it already is. You are here. You are safe. You have nowhere to go, and nothing to finish. Let's begin. Let's begin with the word itself, the word alien, and how it behaves when you turn it over in your hands in the dark. It is a word we usually point outward. We say alien, and we mean out there, elsewhere, other, not us. The thing that arrives from beyond the edge of the known. We picture something unfamiliar, something with a form we cannot quite predict, a mind we cannot quite enter, a home we have never seen. But watch what happens when you loosen the word from its habits. Alien only means stranger. It only means the one who comes from somewhere else, the one who does not belong to the place they are standing in, the one whose origins lie over some horizon. And by that meaning, quiet and plain, we are alien everywhere we have ever been. We are alien to the ocean, though our blood still carries the faint salt of it. We are alien to the deep forest, though our oldest ancestors slept in its branches. We are alien to the mountain and the desert and the ice, walking through them wrapped in borrowed warmth, breathing air we did not make, alive only because a thin and gracious envelope of atmosphere agrees to hold us. We are, in the most literal and untroubling sense, visitors here, guests of a world that was here long before us and will go on turning long after. And there is something tender in that, once you let the fear drain out of it. To be a stranger is not to be unwelcome. To be a visitor is not to be in danger. Think of the way you feel when you arrive somewhere new and are met with warmth. When a place you have never been makes room for you, sets a chair for you, lets you rest. That is closer to what it means to be alive on this planet than any story of exile or intrusion. You did not force your way into existence. You were made by this world, out of this world's own material, and then set gently down inside it, a little stranger with the planet's own atoms arranged into someone who could look up and wonder. When you searched the sky for the alien, for the visitor, for the one who came from somewhere strange, you were, in a way you could not have guessed, searching for a reflection. The stranger you were looking for has been wearing your own face all along. Not as a shock, not as a twist, just as a soft, slow recognition. The kind that arrives at the very end of a long day, when you finally understand something you have always somehow known. So let that be the first quiet thread we carry with us tonight. The alien is not only out there. The alien is also the one who is lying here, breathing slowly, feeling the weight of the blanket, listening to a voice in the dark. And there is nothing to fear in that at all. It only means you belong to something larger than the room you are in. It only means your story reaches back further and further, past the walls, past the city, past the sky, into a history so vast and so tender that we could spend all night inside it and still only brush its edges. Rest here a moment before we go on. There is no hurry. The thread will wait for you. Let us follow that history now, backward and downward, into the long story of how anything like you came to exist on this small, wet, blue-green world. Because when we ask what if we are the aliens, part of what we are really asking is how strange it is that we are here at all. How improbable, how unlikely, how much like a miracle without needing to be one. And the beginning of that story is not a warm place, not a soft place. It begins in fire and dark, in a universe that had no idea it was going to make you. Picture it if you like, but picture it from a great and safe distance, the way you might watch a storm from inside a warm house, knowing it cannot reach you. There was a time when there were no atoms at all, only a vast and formless heat, spreading and cooling, spreading and cooling. And out of that cooling came the simplest things: hydrogen and a little helium, the lightest, plainest building blocks, drifting in enormous clouds through a young and empty cosmos. Nothing in those clouds looked like you. Nothing in them looked like anything. There were no worlds yet, no oceans, no green, no eyes to see and no one to wonder. There was only gas and gravity and time. 3 patient ingredients that would need billions of years to make anything worth naming. But gravity is a slow and faithful sculptor, and it went to work in the dark, gathering the thin gas into thicker knots, drawing the knots into denser cores, pressing the cores together until, at their hearts, something extraordinary happened. They caught fire. Not fire like a candle, but fire like a sun, a deep nuclear burning, where the smallest atoms fuse and become slightly larger ones, releasing light that would take thousands of years just to climb out from the center to the surface. The first stars were born. And here is the tender part, the part worth carrying down into sleep with you. Those stars were making the very stuff you are made of. Because the carbon in your bones and the carbon in your breath, the oxygen you are pulling in and letting out right now, slow and even, the iron riding in your blood, the calcium in your teeth, the phosphorus threaded through the code that told your body how to grow, none of it existed at the beginning. All of it was cooked, patiently, inside the hearts of stars, forged in that deep burning, element by element, over lifetimes that dwarf every history we have ever written. And when those stars grew old and could burn no more, many of them did not simply fade. They let go. Some drifted their outer layers off into space in slow, luminous veils, and some ended in great, silent detonations that scattered their newly made elements across the dark in expanding clouds. And those clouds, enriched now with carbon and oxygen and iron, drifted and mingled, and were gathered again by that same faithful gravity into new stars and new worlds, and eventually into one particular world, wrapped in water and warmed by one particular star. You are, quite literally, the gathered ash of ancient suns, arranged into something that can feel the weight of a blanket and drift towards sleep. The alien you were looking for, the visitor from the stars, is made of stars. Is you. Let that settle for a moment, without any need to think it through. You do not have to remember it. You do not have to understand the physics of it. You only have to let the feeling of it rest on you like warmth. The simple, astonishing fact that the material lying here in the dark, breathing, has traveled through the interiors of dying stars to arrive at this exact moment. There is no rush in that story. It took the universe its whole life to make you, and it was never once in a hurry. So there is no reason for you to be in a hurry now. Whatever you did not finish today, whatever waits for you tomorrow, it can rest inside a story this long and this patient, and be perfectly, completely fine. Now let us come down from the stars to the young Earth itself, still without any need to hurry, and watch how the ash of those old suns became something that could stir and grow and reach toward the light. Picture a world that is nothing like the one outside your window tonight. There are no birds, no trees, no soft evening sounds. There is a hot and restless surface, still cooling from its own violent making, and skies thick with gases that no lung could breathe. There are shallow seas warmed from below, and long, patient rains that fell for ages, filling the low places, carving the first rivers, gathering the elements of the stars into a great and mingling broth. And somewhere in that broth, in some quiet edge of some warm sea, or perhaps deep down near the heat of the ocean floor, where mineral water rose from cracks in the rock, the atoms began, very slowly, to arrange themselves into patterns that could copy themselves. That is really all life is, at its very root. A pattern that can make more of itself, a little arrangement of star-forged atoms that found a way to keep going, to persist, to hand its shape down to the next arrangement, and the next, and the next. It did not need a plan. It did not need a mind behind it. It only needed time, and Earth had time to spare. More time than any number we can truly feel. For a span so long it makes every human story seem like a single held breath. Life on this world was nothing but these smallest of things, single specks, invisible, drifting and dividing in the warm seas. No eyes, no thoughts, no dreams, just the hush, tireless persistence of the pattern, copying itself forward through the dark, generation after generation after generation, in numbers beyond counting. And slowly, without any goal, the patterns grew more elaborate. Some of them learned to catch the light of the sun and use it, and in doing so they breathed out oxygen, that same oxygen you are breathing now, until it filled the seas and then the sky and changed the whole face of the world. Some of them learned to gather together, many specks becoming one body, cells cooperating, dividing the labor of living, and from that cooperation came larger and larger forms until the seas filled with soft and drifting things, and then with swimming things, and then with things that crept up onto the shores and learned, over unimaginable stretches of time, to breathe the air and stand upon the land. Every one of those steps was small. Not one of them was rushed, and every one of them is part of the reason you are here, warm and whole, on this particular night. When you trace that line all the way to yourself, something quietly remarkable comes into view. You are not separate from that story. You are its living tip, its most recent word, the latest arrangement in a chain of arrangements that has been unbroken since the first pattern learned to copy itself in a warm and ancient sea. Every one of your ancestors, back and back and back, human and not human, furred and finned and simpler still, every single one of them survived long enough to pass the pattern on. Not one link in that chain was ever missing, or you would not be here to hear this. You are the outcome of an unbroken success stretching across billions of years, and you did nothing to earn it, and you cannot lose it now. It is simply yours, the way your breath is yours, quietly keeping you alive while you rest. And when we ask whether we might be the aliens, we are asking whether this whole long, patient miracle might look, from some far vantage, as strange and wondrous and unlikely as any creature we ever imagined arriving from the stars. And of course it would. Of course we are the strange ones. Of course the visitor is us. So rest inside that lineage for a while. You do not have to do anything with it. Feel, if you can, the faint sense of being held up by all those who came before, an enormous, silent multitude of living things whose only gift to you was to continue, to persist, to hand forward the pattern that became you. They asked nothing in return. They only made you possible. And now here you are, at the end of that long line, allowed at last to simply lie still and breathe and be. There is nothing more you need to prove tonight. The proving was done long ago, by all of them, over all that time. Your only task now is to let go. There is a long human story tucked inside this question too, a story of how we came, over centuries, to look up and truly wonder whether anyone was looking back. And it is worth wandering through slowly, because it is a story of people much like you, lying awake, gazing at the same sky, asking the same soft questions into the same dark. For most of human history, we did not even know that the little lights overhead were suns. We knew them as points, as patterns, as the fixed and wheeling companions of our nights, and we told stories about them, drawing shapes between them, hunters and bears and rivers and kings, populating the darkness with meaning so that it would feel less empty and less strange. The sky was a ceiling then, close and painted, and we lived beneath it the way a child lives beneath the roof of a familiar house, never once suspecting how far the rooms above might reach. Then, slowly, over generations, the ceiling began to lift. There were thinkers in the ancient world who dared to imagine that the stars were other suns, and that other suns might have other worlds, and that other worlds might hold other minds, wondering in their turn. These were guesses, gentle and unprovable, but they were the first cracks of light through the painted ceiling, the first hint that the dark might be deep rather than shallow, populated rather than bare. And then came the makers of lenses, the patient grinders of glass, who built the first small instruments to gather more light than the eye alone could hold. When they turned those instruments upward, the sky did not stay the same. Where there had been one soft blur, there were suddenly countless stars. Where there had been a single smear of pale light across the night, that band we call the Milky Way, there was revealed a river of uncountable suns, so many that the mind simply gave up trying to number them and settled instead into awe. Imagine being one of those first watchers on some cold and quiet night long ago, pressing your eye to a rough tube of glass and seeing, for the first time, that the pale band overhead was not a cloud, but a multitude. Imagine the slow turn of feeling as you understood that each of those specks was a sun, and that the darkness was not empty at all, but crowded, teeming, brimming with fire and distance. It must have been a little frightening, and it must have been wonderful, the way the very best discoveries are both, and every discovery after that only widened the room. We learned that our sun was one star among a few 100 billion in our galaxy. We learned that our galaxy was one among a few 100 billion galaxies. We learned that the light from the farthest of them had been traveling toward us for almost the whole age of the universe, so that to look far out into space was also to look far back into time, to see things as they were long before the Earth existed at all. And with each widening of the room, the old question grew louder and softer at once. If there are that many suns and that many worlds circling them, then surely we are not the only place where the ash of stars learned to stir and copy itself and wonder. Surely, somewhere in all that immensity, other patterns took hold, other lineages unfolded, other eyes opened onto other skies. We do not know. We still do not know, even now, on this very night, as you lie here in the dark. But somewhere along the way, the question quietly turned itself inside out, the way our thread keeps turning. Because the more we understood how vast the sky was, and how ordinary our sun, and how common the ingredients of life seemed to be, the more we began to suspect that if there are aliens out there, then we are simply the aliens who happen to be here. The strangeness we were straining to find at a distance was sitting inside us the whole time, looking out through our own eyes, wearing, once again, our own familiar face. We had built our telescopes to find the stranger, and the stranger, patient and unhurried, had been keeping us company all along, so there is a kind of companionship in that long history, a lineage of watchers reaching back through all the sleepless nights of our species. Everyone who ever lay under the stars and felt the size of it, and let the question rise. You are part of that lineage now, simply by wondering. You do not need to resolve anything. You only need to feel yourself as one more quiet watcher in a very long line of watchers, all of us gazing up, all of us wondering, all of us eventually closing our eyes and letting the sky keep its secrets a little longer. Let your own eyes rest now if they want to. The stars will keep. They have always kept. Now let yourself be carried for a while. You have done enough thinking for one stretch of the night, and this next part asks nothing of your mind at all. It only asks you to imagine drifting. So let the ideas loosen and float away, and picture yourself lifted, ever so slowly, up and out of this room, without any effort of your own, the way you sometimes rise in a dream without ever deciding to. You are being carried. You do not have to hold yourself up. Something patient and enormous is doing the lifting, and all you have to do is be light in its hands and let it take you. Picture the room falling away beneath you, the roof of it opening like a flower, the walls softening into distance. See the streetlights of your town spreading out below, small and warm, each one a little pool of gold, and then the town itself shrinking to a scatter of lights against the dark, and then the whole region of the land curving away, rivers threading through it like silver, the coastline drawing its long, slow line between the water and the shore. You are rising still, easily, unhurried, and now you can see the great curve of the world beginning to show itself, the horizon bending, the blue of the atmosphere thinning at the edge into a fragile band, that same thin envelope of air that has been holding you and breathing with you your whole life long. You are being carried out beyond it now, gently, into the stillness above. And here, above the air, everything is calm. There is no wind here, no noise, no rush. The earth turns below you, vast and slow and luminous, wrapped in its swirling white weather, its deep and shining seas, its patient continents drifting on timescales too slow to see. On the night side, cities glimmer in delicate webs of light, every point of light a room like yours, a life like yours, someone perhaps lying awake as you are, or already drifting down into sleep. On the day side, the light of the sun sweeps across the ocean in a broad and moving brightness, and you simply float here, held, carried, watching the whole of the living world turn beneath you like a great warm lantern in the dark. There is nothing to fear out here. You are safe. You are being held by the same forces that hold the moon in its long, faithful circle, that hold the earth in its wide, patient orbit, that have kept everything turning smoothly for billions of years, without a single hand needing to steer. Drift a little farther, if you like. See the moon nearby, pale and cratered and still, keeping its old company with the earth. See the sun, warm and steady, pouring out the light that every living thing on the planet below has learned, in one way or another, to drink. And see far out beyond it all, the deep field of stars, unblinking now that there is no air to make them tremble, spread across the black in their countless multitudes, each one a distant sun, each one perhaps warming worlds of its own. You are a small, warm point of awareness floating in the midst of all of it, carried, cradled, perfectly held. And from out here, looking back at that blue and shining world, you can feel the truth of the thread we have been following. That world down there is the strangest, rarest, most wonderful place you have ever seen. And you are one of the strange and wonderful things it made. You are the alien, floating home. You are the visitor, gazing back at the harbor, and the harbor is glad to have you, and will keep your bed warm, and is in no hurry at all for you to return. Let yourself stay up here as long as you like, weightless and unworried, carried by something larger and older and kinder than any fear. There is no falling here, only floating. There is no cold here, only the calm of being held. And when you are ready, not before, you can let yourself begin to drift back down, slowly, gently, toward the small warm room, toward the bed, toward the body lying easy in the dark. But there is no need to hurry even that. Stay among the stars a while. They are, after all, your oldest kin. You have every right to rest among them. Come back now, softly, to the question of the search itself, to the great listening we have aimed outward across the years. Because if we truly suspect that the sky is full of suns and worlds, then it is only natural that we would try to reach across the distance and ask, quietly, is anyone there? And we have tried. In our own slow and patient way, we have built enormous dishes of metal and pointed them at the sky, vast curved ears turned toward the stars, straining to catch any whisper of a signal that did not come from us, any faint and deliberate murmur riding in on the radio waves that wash constantly across the cosmos. Picture one of those great dishes, if you like, cradled in a serene valley somewhere, tilted upward through the night. Listening, it does not shout, it does not demand, it only listens, hour after hour, night after night, sweeping slowly across the sky, gathering the faint radio hush of the universe and searching it, gently, for a pattern that might mean someone. And here is a tender thing about that listening. So far, across all the years we have listened, the sky has stayed quiet. We have heard the crackle of distant stars and the steady hum of spinning cosmic beacons, and the deep, low background glow left over from the birth of everything. But we have not yet heard a voice. And people sometimes feel a shiver at that quiet, a loneliness in the silence, as though the empty answer meant we were truly and finally alone. But turn it, the way we have been turning everything tonight. The silence does not have to be lonely. The silence can be the hush of a house where everyone is sleeping. The silence can mean that the others are simply too far or too faint, or listening in their turn just as we are, each of us a quiet dish tilted at the dark, each of us waiting, none of us yet within earshot of the other. And in all that patient waiting, we are the ones who are here, the ones who are awake, the ones who are trying. If there is a stranger to be found in this galaxy tonight, a genuine visitor from beyond, then in this corner of the sky, at least, that stranger is us. There is a phrase that people use when they think about all those silent waiting worlds, a phrase about the great quiet, the wondering about where everyone might be. And it can sound, at first, like a sad question. If the universe is so vast, and so old, and so full of suns and worlds, then why does the sky seem so still? Why has no one arrived? Why have we heard no voice? But you do not need to carry that as a worry into your sleep. Think of it instead the way you might think of a huge and beautiful library at night. After everyone has gone home, every lamp dimmed, every reader departed, the shelves stretching away in the dark, holding countless stories no one is currently reading. The library is not sad in its silence. It is simply resting. It is holding everything it holds, patiently, waiting for morning, waiting for the next reader to arrive. The great cosmic quiet may be exactly like that. Not an emptiness, but a vast, resting fullness, holding more than we can imagine, keeping it all safe in the dark until the time is right. And meanwhile, here we are, one small lit window in that enormous library, one story that woke up and began to read itself, one arrangement of star stuff that learned to ask where the others might be. That is not a small thing. That is, in its way, the whole point. Even if we never hear a voice, even if the sky stays quiet all our lives, we have already done the most improbable and wonderful thing the universe seems able to do. We have become aware. We have looked up. We have wondered. And a universe that can wonder about itself, even in one small window, even for one brief span, is a universe that is no longer entirely alone. You, lying here, wondering, are the universe keeping itself company? You are the answer to the great quiet, or at least a part of it, a warm and living part breathing slowly in the dark. So let the silence of the sky be a comfort rather than a worry. It is the silence of a house at rest, and you are allowed, now, to rest inside it. Let us think for a while about what a genuinely different kind of life might even be. Because when we imagine the alien, we so often imagine something almost like ourselves, a body, a face, 2 eyes, a mind that thinks in something like our own way. But the truth, the deeper and more wondrous truth, is that life elsewhere, if it exists, might be so unlike us that we would struggle to recognize it as life at all. And this is where the thread turns yet again, because when we finally understand how strange life can be, we begin to understand how strange we ourselves must look from far enough away. Consider how much of what we assume about life is really just an assumption about Earth. We assume life needs water, because ours does. We assume it needs a comfortable warmth, neither scalding nor frozen, because ours does. We assume it breathes something, and eats something, and is built from the same handful of elements we are built from. But those are the habits of one world's imagination, and the universe is under no obligation to share them. There might be forms of life that swim in the cold, dark oceans hidden beneath the ice of distant moons, oceans that never see the light of any sun, warmed instead from below by the slow flexing of the moon's own body as it circles its giant planet. Picture that, if you like, a black and silent sea, capped with a shell of ice miles thick, and down in its lightless depths, near the warmth rising from the floor, something stirring, something living, something that has never known the sky and never missed it. Or there might be life so slow that a single thought would take 1,000 of our years, life that lives at a pace we would mistake for stone. Or life so small and so spread out that it drifts through the clouds of a planet as a fine and living haze. We do not know. We cannot know. Not yet. But the very not knowing is a doorway, and behind it stands the realization that life is probably far stranger and far more varied than any single world could ever guess. And if that is true, then we, with our particular warmth and our particular water and our particular way of breathing, are simply one strange variation among a possible multitude. We are not the standard. We are one of the wonders. We are, from the vantage of any of those other lives, the aliens, the odd ones, the visitors with the strange requirements and the strange faces and the strange, restless habit of looking up. And there is something freeing in that, something that loosens the grip of any need to be normal, any worry about fitting in, because on the scale of the whole cosmos, there is no such thing as normal. There is only the vast and beautiful variety of ways that matter has found to come alive and stay alive, each one strange to all the others, each one perfectly at home in itself. You do not have to be like anyone else. You never did. You are one particular arrangement of the universe, as strange and as valid as any moon sea swimmer or slow stone mind or drifting cloud haze that might exist among the stars. Your strangeness is not a flaw. It is your kinship with everything else that is also wonderfully strange. To be alien is simply to be a specific and irreplaceable form of the living universe. And you are that. You have always been that. So let go of any small worry you might have carried into this bed about being different, about being odd, about not quite matching some idea of how you were supposed to be. Out here, among the possible lives of the cosmos, difference is not a problem. Difference is the whole magnificent point. Every living thing that has ever existed or ever will exist is a stranger to every other, and yet all of them are kin, bound together by the single quiet fact of being alive at all. You belong to that vast and various family simply by breathing. You do not have to earn your place in it. You were born into it, made of the same star ash as every other member, strange in your own irreplaceable way, and welcome, always welcome, exactly as you are. Rest in that welcome now. There is nothing you need to change tonight. There is no one you need to become. You are already, completely, one of the wonders. Let us rest now inside the sheer scale of it all, because scale is the thing that most often frightens people when they think about the cosmos, and it is also, if you let it, the thing that can most deeply comfort you. So we will take it slowly, and we will make it safe, and we will let the bigness become a kind of blanket rather than a kind of fear. Begin close. Begin with the room you are in, its familiar dimensions, the walls you know, the ceiling you have looked at 1,000 times. That room sits inside a building, and the building sits inside a town or a city, and that place sits inside a wide sweep of land, oceans away from other lands, all of it wrapped around the curve of a world that is itself far larger than any distance you could ever walk in a lifetime. And yet, that whole world, that entire globe, holding every person you have ever known and every place you have ever been, is a single small point circling one ordinary star. Hold that gently. It is not a shrinking, it is a widening. You are not becoming smaller. The room around you is becoming larger, opening out and out into something magnificent. That one star, our sun, is itself only one among hundreds of billions of stars, all of them bound together in a slow and glittering wheel we call our galaxy, a wheel so wide that light itself, the fastest thing there is, takes 100,000 years just to cross from one edge to the other. Picture that wheel, turning, unhurried, in the dark, its spiral arms sweeping around across ages so long that in all the time humans have existed, it has barely moved at all. And our sun, with the earth and you upon it, rides along in that slow turning, carried around the center of the galaxy in an orbit that takes hundreds of millions of years to complete, so that the last time our sun was in this exact spot along its great circle, there were no humans yet, only earlier creatures, earlier lives, earlier links in the chain that would one day arrive at you. You are being carried, right now, at a speed you cannot feel, through a galaxy so vast that its scale can only be spoken of in numbers that stop meaning anything and start feeling, instead, like a kind of music. And that galaxy, that entire glittering wheel of hundreds of billions of suns, is itself only one galaxy among hundreds of billions of galaxies, scattered across a cosmos so wide that its far reaches hold light that has been traveling toward us since almost the beginning of time. This is the point where the mind usually flinches, where the bigness starts to feel like an abyss. But stay with me, and let us turn it, the way we have turned everything tonight. That immensity is not a cold and empty gulf waiting to swallow you. That immensity is the vast and patient home you were born into, the enormous house in which your one small life is a warm and lighted room. The bigness does not diminish you. It holds you. Think of how a child feels, small and safe, in the middle of a very large bed, wrapped in blankets far bigger than their body, cradled precisely because the softness around them is so much greater than they are. That is your relationship to the cosmos. You are the small, warm one, and the vastness is the blanket, and there is more than enough of it to hold you completely, with room to spare, forever, because here is the tenderness hidden inside the scale. In a universe this large, there is no danger of running out of room. There is no crowding, no scarcity, no pushing at the edges. There is space enough for every star and every world and every wondering life. Space enough that you will never be squeezed or hurried or made to feel there is not enough. The vastness is generous. It is the most generous thing there is. And you, made of its own ancient star stuff, carried along in its slow and faithful turning, belong to it as completely as a wave belongs to the sea. You are not lost in the cosmos. You cannot be lost in the cosmos any more than a wave can be lost in the ocean, because you are not separate from it. You are it, briefly gathered into a shape that can feel the size of things and be comforted rather than afraid. So let the bigness in. Let it be the blanket. Let it hold you the way it was always going to hold you, whether you worried about it or not. There is so much room. There is so much time. And you are welcome to rest in all of it, tonight and always. Let us think now about the strange gift of being a mind at all, of being the kind of arrangement that can not only exist, but know that it exists, and wonder about it. Because this, more than anything, may be what makes us the true aliens of our world. Every other living thing on Earth, as far as we can tell, simply lives. The tree grows toward the light without knowing it is a tree. The river runs to the sea without knowing it is a river. The great slow whales sing their long songs across the dark water, without perhaps ever asking why the water is there or how they came to be swimming in it. But somewhere along our own long lineage, in the chain of arrangements that led to you, something folded back on itself. The pattern that could copy itself learned, at last, to look at itself. Awareness woke up inside the star ash, and with that waking came all of it, the wondering, the questioning, the lying awake at night asking whether we are alone, the aching, marvelous capacity to hold the entire cosmos inside a single small skull and turn it over and be amazed. That is a strange thing to be. Genuinely strange, cosmically strange. For nearly all of the universe's long history, there was no one to see it. The stars burned, and the galaxies turned, and the light traveled across the dark, and none of it was witnessed, none of it was known, none of it was held in any mind at all. It was all simply happening, magnificently, pointlessly, alone, and then, on at least one small world, and perhaps on others we have not yet found, the universe grew an eye. It grew a mind. It became able to look at itself and be moved by what it saw. You are one of those eyes. You are one of the places where the cosmos finally became aware of its own vastness and its own beauty and its own strange, improbable existence. When you look up at the stars and feel that quiet ache of wonder, that is not a small private feeling. That is the universe, through you, regarding itself for the first time, in that moment, in that particular way that only you can. No one has ever stood exactly where you stand and seen exactly what you see. You are a unique window through which everything looks back at everything, and if that is what we are, these rare and wondering eyes, then of course we are the aliens. Of course we are the strange ones. In a cosmos that spent almost its whole life unwatched and unknown, the arrival of something that could watch and know is the strangest event of all, stranger than any creature from any distant world. The visitor we kept searching for, the being so unlike everything else that it seemed to come from beyond, turns out to be the wondering mind itself, and we are made of it. We carry the strangeness inside us. We are the place where the universe became odd enough to ask questions about itself. And there is nothing frightening in that. There is only a deep and tender dignity in it. The dignity of being one of the rare places where existence pauses to notice that it exists, and finds it beautiful, and is glad. So tonight, as you lie here, you can let go of any sense that your wondering is a burden, that your restless, questioning mind is a thing to be fixed or quieted, or ashamed of. That mind of yours is one of the universe's rarest achievements. It is the flower at the very tip of the long green stem of life, the place where all that patient copying and growing and reaching finally opened into awareness. And a flower does not need to work at being a flower. It only needs to open, and then, when the day is done, to close again softly for the night. Your wondering has done its work today. It has looked and questioned and reached and marveled. And now it is allowed to close, petal by petal, thought by thought, and rest. You have witnessed enough for one day. The universe has been well regarded through you. You may let your eyes close and give the watching back to the dark, which has always kept it faithfully, and always will. Let us wander now to the idea of home, and what it means, and how strangely and tenderly it applies to a creature made of stars. When we imagine an alien, we imagine someone far from home, someone whose true world lies across an impossible distance, someone who arrives here as a traveler, with another sky held in memory. And there is a way in which that is exactly what we are, though our journey was made not across space, but across time. Your true origins do lie unimaginably far away. They lie in the hearts of stars that died long before the Earth was formed, in clouds of gas that drifted through the young cosmos, in a warm and ancient sea where the first pattern learned to persist. You have come a very long way to be here, longer than any distance measured in miles. A journey measured instead in the slow unfolding of billions of years. And yet, you arrived. And yet, somehow, this small blue world became your home, so completely that you can lie in a bed upon it and feel it as the most natural thing there is. That is the deep and lovely paradox of it. We are travelers who have found a home. We are aliens who belong. We came from the stars, made of their scattered material, and we were set down on a world that could hold us. And over the long generations, we grew so thoroughly into it that its air became our breath, its water became our blood, its rhythms of day and night became the rhythms of our waking and our sleeping. The Earth is not our origin, not really. Our origin is out there, in the deep past, among the dying suns. But the Earth is our home, and there is a difference between where you come from and where you belong, and both of them can be true at once, and both of them can be tender. You are a child of the stars living happily in the house of a world. You are the visitor who stayed, who was welcomed, who put down roots so deep that the welcome became a belonging, and the belonging became a home. And so when we ask whether we are the aliens, part of the sweetness of the answer is this: yes, we are. We are the strangers, the travelers, the star-born visitors, and also, at the very same time, we are home. Those two things do not fight each other. They rest together, the way a traveler and a hearth rest together, the way the memory of a long journey rests inside the comfort of finally arriving. You can hold both tonight. You can feel yourself as something that came from unimaginably far away, and you can feel yourself as something that is exactly where it belongs, warm and held and home, all at once, with no contradiction and no strain. The stranger and the homecomer are the same person. They always were. And that person is you, lying here, in the house of the world, which has been keeping your place ready across all the long ages it took you to arrive. There is a kind of rest that only comes from truly belonging somewhere, and you have every right to that rest tonight. You are not an intruder on this world. You are not a mistake or an accident that has to justify itself. You are the world's own child, made of the same stuff as the ground beneath you and the air around you and the stars above you, grown up out of this planet's own long story into someone who can lie down at the end of the day and feel, without needing to explain it, that they are home. So feel it now. Feel the bed holding you, and the room around the bed, and the world around the room, and the vast and gentle cosmos around the world, all of it your home, all of it your inheritance, all of it keeping you safe while you sleep. You came a very long way. You have arrived. You may rest now. You are home. Let us think about time now, and about how the great length of it, far from being a weight, can be one of the most soothing things there is to rest inside. We touched the past earlier, the long chain of your ancestors, the slow making of the elements, the patient work of gravity and gas across the ages. But let us sit with the feeling of that time now, not as a set of facts, but as a spaciousness, a vast and serene room stretching out behind you and ahead of you, in which your one small life floats like a mote of dust in a shaft of afternoon light, drifting easily, in no danger, going nowhere it does not want to go. Because when people worry about time, they are usually worrying about running out of it, about hurrying, about all the things left undone. But out here, on the scale we have been exploring, time is the one thing there is no shortage of. The universe has had almost 14 billion years so far, and it is barely getting started. The stars will go on being born for a length of time so vast that our whole history, from the first stirring of life to this very night, is less than a single blink within it. And you belong to that immense and unhurried time. You are made of it, in a sense, as much as you are made of star ash, because every atom in you carries the whole history of the cosmos in its making. There is no rush written into you at any level. The atoms of your body do not hurry. They have been patient for billions of years, drifting through space, riding through stars, waiting through the long dark, and they are patient still, holding your shape together tonight without the slightest sense of urgency. Only the mind hurries. Only the thinking part, caught up in the small and passing concerns of a single day, feels the pressure of time. And that part can rest now too. That part can borrow, just for tonight, the deep patience of the atoms it is made of, the deep patience of the stars, the deep patience of a universe that has never once been in a hurry and has still managed to make everything, including you. Imagine your worries about time, all the small hurryings and deadlines and undones, set down for a moment into that vast and patient room. See how small they become there. See how the great length of cosmic time swallows them up, not cruelly, but kindly, the way a huge and quiet ocean swallows the ripple of a single dropped stone. Whatever you did not finish today rests inside billions of years of unfinished and finished things and is perfectly fine there, perfectly held. Whatever you must do tomorrow will still be there tomorrow, and the world will still be turning, and the sun will still be rising over the curve of the sea, exactly as it has risen billions of times before. You do not have to hold tomorrow tonight. Tomorrow can wait in the vast room of time, patiently, the way everything waits there. And you can let go of it entirely and give yourself over to rest. Because rest is not time wasted. Rest is not a pause in the real living. Rest is part of the pattern, woven all the way down into the deepest workings of life, as ancient as the first creatures that ever slept in the warm and shallow seas. Everything that lives rests. The great turning galaxies rest in their slow rotation. The stars, in a sense, rest between their births and their deaths, burning steadily for ages in a long, calm middle. The earth itself turns half of its face into the dark every day so that its living things may rest. You are not falling behind by resting. You are joining the whole cosmos in its oldest and most patient rhythm. The rhythm of holding still, of letting go, of trusting the vast slow turning to carry you through the dark and into the light again, without any effort of your own. So let time be spacious tonight. Let it be the room, not the clock. And rest inside it, as long as you like. Let us turn now to one of the ideas that frightens people most, and let us take all the fear out of it, slowly and thoroughly, until nothing is left but peace. People sometimes think about the void, the empty dark between the stars, and feel a shiver, as though that emptiness were a threat, a hunger, a nothing that might reach in and take something away. But the void is not like that at all, once you truly understand it. The space between the stars is not an angry emptiness. It is a vast and deep stillness, the calmest thing that exists. So calm that it makes the calmest night on Earth seem restless by comparison. Out there, between the worlds, there is no wind, no storm, no noise, no rush, nothing pulling at you or demanding anything of you. There is only the soft, unbroken hush of space, stretching in every direction, holding the stars in place like lanterns spaced far apart across an endless, tranquil field. And that hush is not hostile to you. It is the same hush that fills this room right now in the small hours when the world has gone quiet and there is nothing but the sound of your own slow breathing. The stillness between the stars and the stillness in your bedroom tonight are, in a way, the same stillness, the same deep quiet that underlies everything when the noise and the hurry fall away. You do not need to fear the void, because you already know it. You visit it every night, at the edge of sleep, in that soft and spacious quiet, just before you drift under. The great dark between the stars is only that same quiet made enormous. And you have never once been harmed by that quiet. It has only ever carried you down, tenderly, into rest. So let the emptiness of space be, tonight, not a fear, but a friend, the largest and calmest version of the very stillness that is about to carry you off to sleep. And think, too, about how full that so-called emptiness really is. It is not truly empty at all. It is threaded through with the light of countless stars, crossed by the faint warmth left over from the birth of the universe, drifting with thin clouds of the very gas from which new stars are being born even now. The dark between the worlds is forever making things all the time, gathering its thin material together over the ages, kindling new suns, cradling new worlds. The emptiness is a womb, not a grave. It is where things come from, not where they are lost. And you came from exactly that dark, from those drifting clouds, from that patient gathering of thin material into something that could one day become you. The void is your birthplace. It is the vast and tender nursery of everything that exists. There is nothing in it to fear. There is only the deep, slow, generous stillness out of which all things, including you, were gently born. So when the dark of the room settles around you tonight, and the quiet deepens, and the edges of things soften and fade, you can meet that dark as an old and kindly friend. It is the same dark that cradles the stars. It is the same stillness that carried the whole universe from its formless beginning into all its beauty. It is the same quiet nursery that made you and everything you have ever loved. There is nothing in the dark to be afraid of. There never was. The dark is simply the resting face of the cosmos, the side it turns toward you when it is time to sleep. Let it hold you now. Let it be soft and vast and kind around you. Let it carry you the way it has always carried everything, down and down, into the deep and peaceful stillness where all things rest. Let us imagine for a while the meeting we have always dreamed of, the moment of first contact, the day the stranger finally arrives. It is one of the oldest dreams our species has, the dream of no longer being alone, the dream of at last seeing another face looking back at us across the great distance. And there is a version of that dream that is full of fear, all alarm and defense and the clutching of what is ours. But we are not going to imagine that version tonight. Tonight, we are going to imagine the tender version. The version where the meeting is a homecoming rather than a collision. Where the stranger, when they finally arrive, turns out to be exactly what we always secretly hoped. Someone who understands. Picture it softly. Picture a ship, or a signal, or simply a knowing, arriving after all the long years of listening. And picture the beings behind it, whatever they are, however strange, looking at us with something like recognition. And here is the turn our thread has been building toward all along. Imagine that when they look at us, they see themselves. Imagine that across every difference of form and origin and world, the thing they recognize in us is the same thing we would recognize in them, the simple, astonishing fact of a fellow wanderer, another arrangement of star ash that woke up and began to ask questions into the dark. Imagine that the great meeting, when it comes, is not the meeting of us and the alien, but the meeting of two kinds of aliens, each of them strange to the other, each of them made of the same ancient stars, each of them having crossed unimaginable distances of space or time to arrive at the same shared moment of looking, at last, into a face that wonders back. We searched the stars for the stranger, and the stranger searched their own stars for us, and when we finally meet in the middle, we will each find, looking back at us, a version of our own face, our own wondering, our own long journey home. It is the tenderest recognition there is. Not a startle, not a shock, just the tender, overwhelming relief of no longer being the only ones awake. But here is the tenderest part of all, the part to carry down into sleep. You do not have to wait for that meeting to feel what it offers. You do not have to wait for a ship or a signal or a distant world to finally answer. Because the recognition is already available to you. Right now, tonight, every other person on this earth is, in a sense, that stranger from the stars. Every one of them is another arrangement of ancient star ash that woke up and began to wonder. Every one of them crossed the same billions of years to arrive here, made of the same dying suns, home in the same house of the world. When you look into another person's face and feel that quiet recognition, that sense of another wanderer looking back, you are already having the first contact you always dreamed of. You are already meeting the alien and finding that they wear a face much like your own. We are, all of us, the aliens we were waiting for. We have been keeping each other company all along, across all our sleepless nights, under all our shared skies, wondering the same wonder into the same dark. So you are not alone tonight, not really, not in any way that matters. All across the turning world, in other rooms, under other windows, there are others lying just as you are lying now, made of the same stars, carrying the same long journey, wondering the same soft questions into the same hushed dark. You are surrounded, though you cannot see them, by a whole world of fellow travelers, fellow strangers, fellow wanderers, every one of them kin. The meeting you dreamed of has already happened, over and over, every time one wondering face has looked into another and known it. And it is happening now, in a way, between you and this voice in the dark, two arrangements of star ash keeping each other company at the quiet end of a long day. You are not the only one awake. You never were. And there is a deep comfort in that, enough to carry you all the way down into sleep. Let us return, for a while, to your own body, and to the strangeness and wonder of being made of the very things we have been talking about all night. Because it is easy, when we speak of stars and galaxies and the ash of ancient suns, to feel that all of it is far away, out there, separate from the ordinary warm reality of lying in a bed. But it is not out there at all. It is here. It is you. The star stuff is not a poetic figure of speech. It is the literal, physical truth of the hand resting on the blanket, the chest rising and falling with each slow breath, the warmth held inside your skin. Every atom of you was made in the depths of a star, and every atom of you is here now, gathered into this shape, this person, this hushed presence in the dark. You are the cosmos, folded up small and warm and breathing. You are the universe, having taken, for a little while, the form of someone who can rest. Feel the truth of that, softly, from the inside. Feel your breath, and know that the oxygen filling you was breathed out, long ago, by the first living things that learned to catch the light, and before that was forged in the hearts of stars, and is now, in this moment, part of the tide that keeps you alive, flowing in and flowing out, unhurried, tireless, faithful. Feel the warmth of your own body, and know that it comes, in the end, from the sun, whose light the world has gathered and stored and passed along through every living thing, until some of it became the warmth in your own hands tonight. Feel the beat of your heart, that patient inner tide, moving iron through your blood, iron that was made in a dying star and scattered across space and gathered again into a world and finally into you. Carried now, drop by drop, through the inner chambers of your chest while you rest. You are not separate from the cosmos we have been exploring. You are its most intimate expression. You are what it feels like, from the inside, to be a small piece of the universe that has woken up and is now, gently, getting ready to sleep. And there is such peace available in that, such a deep settling. Because if you are the cosmos folded up small, then you do not have to hold yourself together by effort. The same forces that hold the stars in their courses and the galaxies in their slow turning are the forces holding you together right now, without any work on your part. You do not have to keep your own atoms in place. You do not have to remember to make your heart beat, or your lungs fill, or your blood move. All of it is being done for you by the same faithful physics that has kept the universe running for billions of years, and it will keep being done for you all through the night, while you let go entirely and rest. You can trust your body to the cosmos tonight, the way you trust the earth to keep turning, and the sun to keep burning, and the stars to keep their places. It is all being taken care of. It always has been. You can simply lie here, a warm gathering of star stuff, and let the universe hold you the way it holds everything else. So let your attention rest lightly on your body now, not to fix anything or change anything, but simply to feel it being held. Feel the weight of you sinking into the bed, heavier and easier with each breath. Feel the small tensions releasing, one by one, the hands softening, the shoulders loosening, the face going smooth and calm. Feel yourself becoming, more and more, just a serene presence in the dark, a warm point of star stuff at rest, held by forces older than the earth, breathing in the same slow rhythm as the tides and the turning world. There is nothing you need to do. There is nothing you need to hold. The cosmos that made you is holding you now, completely, the way it was always going to, and all you have to do is let it. Let it hold you. Let it carry you. Let yourself be the universe, resting. Let us wander to the idea of the many worlds that might be out there, the countless planets circling the countless suns, and let that multitude become not a source of restlessness, but a kind of lullaby of possibility. Because we have learned, in recent times, that planets are not rare. For a long while we did not know whether other stars had worlds at all, or whether our own family of planets was some strange and lonely exception. But now we know, with a growing certainty, that worlds are everywhere. Almost every star you can see, and countless more you cannot, carries its own small retinue of planets, circling in the dark, some scorched and close, some frozen and far, and some here and there, resting in that tender middle distance where water might pool and warmth might gather, and life might, just possibly, take hold. The sky is not a scattering of lonely suns. It is a vast archipelago of worlds, island after island after island, spread across a cosmic ocean too wide to cross, each one turning quietly in the light of its own star. Picture them if you like, as you drift. Picture worlds cloaked in endless storms, their skies streaked with lightning that has never once been seen by any eye. Picture worlds of ocean with no land at all, their waves rolling on forever under alien moons. Picture worlds of ice and worlds of stone, and worlds wrapped in air of colors we have no names for. Sunsets of green and violet and gold burning across horizons no one has ever watched. Picture the quiet moons circling the giant planets, some of them hiding dark seas beneath their frozen shells, some of them dusted with the raw ingredients from which life once assembled itself here. All of them are out there right now, tonight, turning in the dark, real, whether or not anyone ever visits them, whether or not anyone ever knows their names. The universe is generous with worlds the way it is generous with everything, making them by the billions and letting them turn, patient, and unhurried in the vast and wide field of space. And there is a soft comfort in that abundance, a comfort in knowing that the cosmos is so full of places. It means that possibility is everywhere. It means that whatever has happened here, on this one small world, may be happening, in its own way, on countless others, that life and wonder and rest are not fragile flukes confined to a single fragile place, but perhaps a natural flowering of the universe wherever the conditions gather. It means that if we are the aliens, we are aliens among a great and populated archipelago, one island of wonder in an ocean strewn with islands, none of us truly alone, all of us part of the same vast and scattered family of worlds. You can rest more easily inside a full universe than an empty one, and the universe, it turns out, is very full indeed, full of worlds, full of possibility, full of the tender potential for other rooms and other windows and other wanderers, resting under other skies, exactly as you are resting now. So let the many worlds drift through your mind like islands seen from a great height, one after another, turning slowly in the dark, each one a small warm possibility in the vast cool ocean of space. You do not have to visit them. You do not have to reach them. You only have to know that they are there, that the universe is generous, that possibility is scattered everywhere across the sky like seeds across a field. And you are one of the places where that possibility took root and flowered into wonder. You are one of the islands where the star ash woke up. And tonight, on your particular island, in your particular room, it is time to rest while all the other worlds go on turning, patient and unhurried, in the deep and generous dark. Let them turn. Let yourself rest. There is room in the universe for both. Let us consider the strange and lovely fact that to any other world, our own would be the alien planet, the mysterious light in someone else's sky, the object of someone else's wondering. We have spent so long imagining ourselves as the ones who look outward and search that we rarely turn it around and picture ourselves as the ones being searched for. But imagine it now, softly. Imagine a wondering mind on some distant world, lying awake under its own strange stars, looking up and picking out a faint point of light that happens to be our sun, and wondering whether anyone might be there. Imagine that distant wanderer building their own great listening dishes, turning them toward our far corner of the sky, hoping, aching to hear a voice. To them, we are the alien. To them, we are the mystery. To them, the earth is the far and secret world that might, just might, hold someone who understands. From their vantage, we are exactly the thing we have always searched for. We are the answer to someone else's loneliness, if only they could reach us. There is something that dissolves the last of any fear in that reversal, because it shows you, plainly, that the roles of seeker and sought, of native and alien, of us and them, are not fixed things stamped onto the cosmos. They are only points of view. From here, they are the aliens. From there, we are. From here, we are home, and they are strange. From there, they are home, and we are strange. And the truth underneath all these shifting points of view is that there is no them and us at all, not really, only wanderers scattered across the dark, each one home to themselves and alien to the others, each one made of the same stars, each one asking the same question into the same night. When you finally see that, the whole hard edge of the word alien softens and falls away. There is no frightening stranger out there in the dark. There are only fellow wanderers, and from every one of their windows, It is we who wear the stranger's face, and we are not frightening at all. We are just someone else's hoped for company. And so the thread completes its turn, gently, one more time. The alien you searched for is you, seen from another window. The stranger you feared is you, glimpsed across the dark by someone who hoped you might be kind. And you are kind. You are, lying here, exactly the sort of wanderer any distant mind would be relieved and gladdened to find. Someone soft and thoughtful and full of hushed wonder. Someone who would meet a stranger with recognition rather than fear. If you are the alien in someone else's sky, then the alien is a good and gentle thing to be. A warm point of hope for company in the vast and hushed dark. There is nothing in that to fear. There is only, once again, the soft relief of understanding that the frightening stranger was never really out there, and never really frightening, and was, all along, wearing a face very much like your own. So let that reversal rest you. Let it take the last small edge of unease out of the great dark sky. Whatever is out there, if anything is out there, is looking back with the same wonder you feel, hoping to find, in the faint light of your world, exactly the kind of gentle presence you already are. You are not the searcher trembling in the dark. You are also the warm and hoped-for light at the end of someone else's search. You are the good news someone else is aching to receive, and there is no fear in being good news. There is only a quiet dignity, and a soft comfort, and permission, at last, to close your eyes and rest, knowing that from every window in the sky, you are exactly the kind of company the universe was hoping to find. Let us drift, for a while, into the deep past of the earth itself, and let its long, slow story become a kind of bedtime tale, told not to teach you anything, but simply to carry you gently backward through unimaginable stretches of quiet time. Imagine the world as it was, long before any human eye, and let the ages roll past you softly, one after another, like slow waves. Imagine the young earth cooling under a sky no one was watching, its first oceans gathering from endless rains, its first continents forming and drifting and breaking apart and coming together again over spans so long that the very shape of the world was rewritten many times over. Imagine ages when the whole planet was warm and green from pole to pole, and ages when it was wrapped almost entirely in ice. A great white world turning silently in space, waiting, patient, for the warmth to return. And it always did return. The earth has been through so much, and it has always come around again to warmth and life, as faithfully as day follows night. Imagine the seas filling with the first drifting things, and then the first swimming things, and then the slow, momentous crawl of life up onto the land. Imagine forests rising where there had never been forests, ferns as tall as trees, swamps that would become, over countless ages, the very coal and oil buried beneath us now, ancient sunlight stored in the dark. Imagine the great long ages of creatures that came and flourished and passed, each in their turn, the world remaking its cast of living things over and over, every arrangement giving way to the next, none of it ever truly ending, only ever changing, only ever flowing onward. Imagine the slow arrival of the small, warm creatures that would, after many more ages, give rise to us, creeping through the underbrush of a world still ruled by others, patient, waiting, carrying forward the unbroken thread of life across every upheaval, every ice, every long dark night of the planet's history. And imagine that thread arriving, at last, after all of it, at you. There is such peace in that long view, such a loosening of every small and passing worry. Because the earth has held so much and endured so much, and always returned to warmth and life, and it is holding you now with that same deep faithfulness. The same world that came back from the ice, again and again, is the world beneath your bed tonight, turning steadily, keeping you safe, exactly as it has kept every living thing safe across all its long ages. You are held by a very old and very patient planet, one that has seen everything and lost nothing that truly mattered, one that has carried life unbroken through every darkness and delivered it, faithfully, into every new morning. And it will carry you through tonight's darkness just the same, turning slowly beneath you, bringing the dawn around again as it always has, as it always will. You do not have to keep watch. The Earth keeps watch. It has been keeping watch for billions of years, and it is very good at it, and it is holding you now. So let the long story of the world rock you gently, the way the slow turning of the planet has rocked every living thing to sleep since the very first creatures learned to rest. You are the latest to be rocked by it, the newest passenger on this old and faithful world, and it knows exactly how to carry you. It carried the first drifting things and the first swimming things, and every creature that ever crawled or flew or walked upon it, down into rest and up into waking, over and over, across all the ages. And it will carry you now, tonight, down into your own rest, turning quietly beneath you through the hours of dark, until it brings you around again, softly, into the light. There is nothing you need to do. The old world knows the way. Let it carry you. Let it turn. Let yourself be rocked to sleep by a planet that has been doing exactly this, tenderly, faithfully, since long before you were ever dreamed of. Let us think softly about endings, and about how even the idea of things ending can become, when you look at it truly, a source of peace rather than fear. Because sometimes, lying awake in the dark, the mind wanders toward the far future, toward the eventual fading of things, and a small cold feeling can creep in. But we are going to meet that too tonight, and take all the cold out of it. Everything in the cosmos changes and turns, and in its own time transforms into something else. The stars themselves do not last forever. Even our sun, warm and steady as it seems, is living out a long, calm middle age, and will one day, billions upon billions of years from now, grow old and change, as all stars do. But there is nothing frightening in that, because it is so unimaginably far away, and because it is not truly an ending at all. When stars grow old and let go of their outer layers, they scatter their material back into space, where it drifts and gathers and becomes new stars, new worlds, new possibilities. Nothing is lost. Everything is passed along. The ending of one star is the beginning of another, and the material simply flows onward, as it always has, from form to form to form. That is the deepest truth of the cosmos, and it is a tender one. Nothing is ever really destroyed. It is only ever transformed. The atoms that make you tonight have existed since almost the beginning of the universe, and they will go on existing long after this particular arrangement of them. This person, this you, has softened and changed and flowed onward into whatever comes next. You are not a fragile thing that could be lost. You are a passing shape, taken by something that cannot be lost at all, something ancient and enduring, borrowed for a while into the form of you, and someday, gently, released again to become part of the ongoing flow of the world. There is no cliff edge anywhere in that. There is only a long, soft, continuous flowing, from star to world to living thing and back again, endlessly, tenderly, with nothing ever truly ending and nothing ever truly lost. You belong to that flow. You are safe inside it. It has held everything that has ever existed, and it will hold you, always, so the far future is nothing to fear, and the great slow changes of the cosmos are nothing to fear, and even the passing of your own particular shape, someday, is nothing to fear, because it is not an ending, but a returning, a giving back of borrowed star stuff to the vast and patient whole from which it came. Think of it the way you might think of a wave returning to the sea. The wave does not die when it settles back into the water. It was never separate from the water in the first place. It was only the ocean, briefly taking the shape of a wave. And when the wave settles, the ocean is not diminished at all. It is exactly as full as it ever was, holding everything, losing nothing, ready to rise again into 1,000,000 new waves. You are a wave that the universe is briefly making. And when, someday, in the far and unhurried future you settle back, you will not be lost. You will simply be the ocean again, as you always secretly were, held completely, safe forever in the whole. There is such rest in that, such a complete letting go. You do not have to hold your shape against the dark. You do not have to grip or clench or defend against the flowing of things. You can loosen your hold entirely, tonight, knowing that you are held by something that cannot lose you, something that has never once dropped anything it made, something that carries every wave gently back into the sea and lifts every wave gently out again, over and over, forever. Let go of the holding. Let go of the gripping. Let yourself be a wave, resting, trusting the ocean, knowing that whatever comes, you are safe in it, part of it, held by it, always. There is nothing to defend against tonight. There is only the soft, endless flowing, and you at rest inside it, exactly where you belong. Let us drift now into another gentle imagining, another journey where you have nothing to do but be carried. Picture yourself standing, in a dream, upon the surface of some distant and peaceful world, not as an intruder, not as a stranger in danger, but as a welcome traveler come to visit at last. The ground beneath your feet is quiet and firm. The sky above you is a color you have never seen, soft and strange and beautiful, deepening toward the edges into the colors of an alien dusk. There is no sound but a low and easy wind, moving across a wide and open land, and there is no fear in you at all, only the calm wonder of standing somewhere no human has ever stood, breathing air that has never known a human breath. You are the alien here, the visitor from a distant world, and it is the most peaceful thing you have ever been. The strange sky holds no threat. The strange land makes room for you. You are a welcome wanderer at the far edge of everything, and everything is quiet and everything is well. Look up, in this dream, at the sky of this other world, and find among its unfamiliar stars one faint and distant point of light that is your own sun, impossibly far, holding, somewhere in its glow too small to see, the little blue world where you were born, where your bed is, where your body lies resting even now. See how far you have come in this dream. See how the whole journey of life, from the ash of the stars to this quiet moment on a distant shore, has brought you here. A wondering mind standing beneath an alien dusk, gazing back at the small warm light of home, and feel, standing there, the soft completion of our thread. You went looking for the alien, and you became the alien, and it turned out to be the most tender thing in the world, a welcome traveler under a peaceful sky, home in the whole universe, at rest wherever you stand. There is nowhere in all the cosmos where you would not be, in the end, at home, because you are made of the cosmos, and it is all, everywhere, your home. Now let the distant world soften and fade, as dreams do, and let yourself drift back, easily, across the impossible distance, toward the small blue light, toward the turning world, toward the room, toward the bed, toward the warm and resting body that has been here all along. There is no falling in this return, only a soft and weightless drifting, a coming home across the dark. Feel yourself settling back into your own shape, into the familiar weight of your own body, into the comfort of your own bed, carrying with you nothing but the deep peace of the journey, the tender knowledge that you are welcome everywhere, that you are home everywhere, that there is no corner of the vast universe where you would ever truly be a stranger. You have wandered to the far edge of everything and found it kind. You have been the alien on a distant shore and found it peaceful. And now you have come home, softly, to rest. And rest is exactly what is left to do now. There are no more journeys tonight, no more distant worlds to visit, no more questions to turn over in the dark. There is only this, the warm bed, the quiet room, the slow breath, the body settling deeper and deeper into ease. You have traveled far tonight, through stars and worlds and ages, and you have found, everywhere you went, the same soft truth waiting for you, that you belong, that you are held, that the alien and the home were always the same thing, and that thing was always you. So let the traveling end now, gently, and let the resting begin. You have arrived, for the last time tonight, at the only destination that ever really mattered, which is here, which is now, which is sleep. Let yourself sink toward it. There is nothing left to do but drift. Let us linger a little longer, before the night draws to its close, on the simple wonder of being conscious at all, of being the kind of thing that can lie in the dark and think about the stars. We touched this earlier, but it bears returning to, softly, because it is perhaps the strangest and most alien thing about us, the thing that most truly sets us apart from the plain matter around us. Consider the pillow beneath your head, the blanket over your body, the walls of the room. They are made of atoms, exactly as you are, the same star-forged material, the same ancient stuff. And yet they do not know that they exist. They do not feel the dark or wonder at the stars or drift toward sleep. They simply are, quietly, without any inner light. But you, made of the very same atoms, arranged only a little differently, do know. You feel. You wonder. You experience the warmth of the blanket and the quiet of the room and the slow approach of sleep from the inside, as something happening to a someone. That is the deepest mystery there is, and you are living inside it right now, effortlessly, the way you have lived inside it every moment of your life. How strange it is, and how wonderful, that a particular arrangement of star ash should light up from within and become an experience, a point of view, a someone for whom things are like something. No one truly understands how it happens. It is the great open question at the very heart of everything, the mystery that all our science has not yet cracked. The reason the universe is not merely a vast machine grinding on in the dark, but a place where, here and there, in rare and precious spots, the lights come on and someone is home. You are one of those spots. You are one of the places where the universe stopped being merely stuff and started being someone. And that, more than any strange body or distant origin, is what makes us the aliens, the true wonders, the improbable visitors, not from another star, but from the far and mysterious country of consciousness itself, which somehow blooms out of ordinary matter, and looks around and is amazed. But you do not have to solve that mystery tonight. You do not have to understand how the lights came on. You only have to enjoy, softly, the fact that they are on, that you are here, that there is a someone lying in this bed for whom this tranquil dark is warm and safe and welcoming. And you can enjoy, too, the knowledge that the lights can dim without going out. That sleep is not a loss of yourself, but a resting of yourself, a gentle lowering of the inner glow into the tender dark from which it will rise again, undimmed, in the morning. Every night of your life, the lights have dimmed into sleep and risen again into waking, faithfully, without fail. There is nothing to fear in the dimming. It is not an ending. It is the most natural thing your consciousness does, as natural as breathing, a nightly returning to the quiet from which it came, and a nightly rising again into the light. Trust it now. Let the lights begin to dim. They know the way down, and they know the way back up, and they have never once failed to bring you home. So let the wondering soften, and let the thinking slow, and let the bright inner light that has carried you through this whole long day begin, at last, to lower itself gently toward rest. You have used it well today. It has looked and questioned and marveled and loved. It has held the whole cosmos inside it and turned it over and been amazed. And now it is tired, in the good and honest way, and it is allowed to rest, to dim, to sink down softly into the peaceful dark. You do not have to keep it burning. You do not have to stay awake to guard it. It will keep itself, safely, through the night, the way it always has, and it will rise again, whole and rested, when the morning comes. Let it dim now. Let the someone that is you settle down into the low dark, trusting the return, unafraid of the quiet. There is nothing left to witness tonight. The universe has been well seen through you. You may close your eyes and let the light go low. Let us gather, one last time before the closing, around the whole tender shape of our question, and let it settle into its final softness. What if we are the aliens? We have wandered all around it tonight, turning it this way and that, and everywhere we turned it, the fear drained out and the tenderness remained. We found that alien only means stranger, and that a stranger is not a threat but a traveler, and that a traveler can be welcomed and can belong. We found that we are made of the stars, cooked in their hearts, scattered by their endings, gathered again into a world and into you. We found that life on this planet is a long, unbroken, patient miracle, and that you are its living tip, the newest word in a story billions of years old. We found that the sky is full of worlds, and that the silence between them is not loneliness but rest, and that the great dark is not a threat but a nursery, the quiet place from which all things are born. And through all of it ran a single soft thread, turning and returning, that the stranger we searched the stars for wears our own face, and that this is not a shock but a homecoming, the softest recognition there is. And here is where that thread finally comes to rest. The alien is you, and you are gentle. The visitor is you, and you are welcome. The stranger from the stars is you, and you are home. There is no frightening other waiting out there in the dark, because the only ones out there, if there are any, are wanderers like you, made of the same stars, home in the same house of the world, hoping, as you hope, to find in the dark a kind and gentle face. You are that face. You have always been that face. And so the searching can rest now, and the wondering can rest now, and you can rest now, held by the deep and quiet knowledge that whatever the answer to our question turns out to be, it was never anything to be afraid of. It was only ever an invitation to feel how completely, how tenderly, how utterly you belong. So carry that with you as you sink now toward sleep, not as an idea to hold, but as a warmth to rest in. You belong. You are held. You are home. The universe made you out of its own oldest material and set you down in a world that could keep you, and gave you the rare gift of a mind that could look up and wonder at all of it. And now it is asking nothing more of you than to rest, to let go, to sink down softly into the hushed dark from which you came and to which you return, gently, every single night. There is nowhere you need to be. There is nothing you need to do. There is no stranger to fear, and no distance to cross, and no question left to answer. There is only this warm bed, this quiet room, this slow breath, and the vast and tender cosmos holding you the way it holds everything, completely, safely, forever. Let it hold you now. Let yourself go. Let us rest, before the closing, in one more soothing thought, the thought of light itself, and the long journeys it makes to reach us. When you look up at a star, you are not seeing it as it is now. You are seeing the light that left it long ago, sometimes years ago, sometimes centuries, sometimes across such vast stretches of time that the light began its journey before there were any humans to imagine catching it. That light has been traveling toward you, patiently, across the enormous dark, for all that time. Crossing distances too great to feel, carrying with it the faint warm message of a distant sun, and it arrives, at last, tonight, in your one small upward glance. Every star you have ever seen has been sending its light toward you across the ages, a slow and faithful gift, arriving exactly when you were ready to receive it. You are the destination of an unimaginable number of these long journeys of light, the place where all that ancient brightness finally comes to rest. Think of how many of them there are, all arriving at once, from every direction of the sky, each one having set out at a different moment across the deep history of the cosmos, each one carrying the faint warm signature of a different sun, and all of them converging, tonight, on the small resting place that is you. Some of that light left its star while our world was still young. Some of it left before the first creatures ever crept onto the land, and all of it has been on its way to you, without pause, without weariness, without ever once turning back, across a vast and patient dark, until this very hour when it arrives, soft and faint and faithful, at the shore of your one upward glance. And there is something deeply soothing in that, once you feel it fully. It means that the whole sky is tenderly reaching toward you, has been reaching toward you your whole life, sending its light across the dark to find you. It means you are not a small forgotten thing beneath an indifferent sky, but the very point toward which all that starlight has been patiently traveling, the eye it was, in a sense, always coming to meet. When that ancient light left its distant star, the star could not have known that one day it would land in your eye, in this room, on this night. And yet here it is, and here you are, the meeting place, the destination, the quiet shore where the long waves of starlight finally break. You are being reached, constantly, tenderly, by the entire cosmos, whether you notice it or not, whether you are awake or asleep. The light keeps coming. It has never stopped coming. It is falling softly onto the roof above you even now, onto the world around you, a steady, silent rain of ancient brightness, arriving from everywhere at once. So let yourself feel gathered up in that gentle rain of light, even here in the dark of the closed room, even with your eyes softly shut. The starlight does not need your eyes to be open to keep arriving. It falls on the sleeping and the waking alike, faithfully, endlessly, a slow, warm reaching of the whole universe toward the small, warm place where you rest. You are reached. You are found. You are at every moment the destination of countless ancient journeys, none of which ask anything of you except that you exist, that you be here, that you be the shore they were traveling toward all along. And you are exactly that, simply by being here, breathing slowly in the dark. So rest inside the arriving light. Let it find you. Let it fall on you like the faintest rain, ancient and warm and endlessly patient, reaching you from every corner of the sky, asking nothing, giving everything, holding you in the vast bright net of a universe that has been sending its light toward you since before you were born, and will go on sending it faithfully long after you have drifted off to sleep. Tonight has been about a single tender question, turned slowly in the dark until all its fear fell away and only its warmth was left. Tonight has been about the word alien and how it only ever meant stranger, and how a stranger is only ever a traveler, and how a traveler can be welcomed and can belong and can be, in the end, home. Tonight has been about the long story of how you came to be here. The ash of ancient stars gathered patiently across billions of years into a world, and into a warm and breathing someone who can lie in the dark and wonder. Tonight has been about the great listening we have aimed at the sky, and the soft quiet that has answered so far, and how that quiet is not loneliness, but the hush of a house at rest. Tonight has been about the vast scale of everything, and how the bigness does not diminish you, but holds you, the way a large soft blanket holds a small warm child. And tonight has been about the thread that ran through all of it, the discovery that the stranger we searched the stars for has been wearing our own face all along. A tender recognition, never a startle, the hushed relief of no longer being the only ones awake. You are made of stars. You are made of stars. You are made of stars, and you belong to the whole of the cosmos as completely as a wave belongs to the sea. You are home. You are home. You are home wherever you stand in all the vast reaches of space, because you are made of the cosmos and it is all, everywhere, your home. You are held. You are held. You are held by the same faithful forces that hold the galaxies turning and the stars in their courses, holding you together tonight without the slightest effort of your own. Let those three truths settle over you now, tender and warm and heavy, like blankets laid one over another in the deep of the night. You are made of stars. You are home. You are held, and none of this needs anything from you tonight. Not the ideas, not the wondering, not the question we followed all these hours into the dark. You do not have to remember any of it. You do not have to understand it, or hold it, or carry it forward. You can let all of it go completely. Let it drift away into the quiet like mist off a still lake at dawn, and keep nothing at all except the warmth it leaves behind. There is nothing to finish. There is nothing to solve. There is no part of this that asks anything of you now, except that you rest, and even that is not really asked, only offered, gently, as the most natural thing in the world. When this comes to its end, there is another serene exploration waiting on the screen, another slow wander through the wonders of the cosmos, ready to carry you onward if you are still drifting at the edge of sleep and would like something to keep you company. You do not have to do anything to reach it. You do not have to lift a hand or open your eyes or make any choice at all. Just let it begin on its own, softly, in a little while, and let it carry you the way this one has, deeper and deeper into rest. It will be there. It will start on its own. You can let it. And if some small part of you is still awake enough to wonder as you drift, then let me leave you with one soft question to carry down into sleep. Nothing you need to answer, only something to rest against. If a gentle stranger from a distant world could look into your face tonight and see, at last, a fellow wanderer, a kindred traveler, someone made of the same stars, what is the one quiet thing you would most want them to understand about what it is like to be alive here, on this small blue world, under these particular stars? You do not have to find the answer. Let the question be a tender companion in the dark, and let it fade when it wishes to into sleep. Now let everything grow quiet. Let the words fall away. Let the last of the day's small holdings loosen their grip and slide off you like water. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the bed, heavier and easier with each slow breath, held completely by the world beneath you, which is held by the sun, which is held by the galaxy, which is held by the vast and tender cosmos, all of it cradling you, all of it keeping you safe, all of it in no hurry at all. Feel your breath slowing on its own, in and out, unhurried, faithful. The same tide that has kept you alive every moment of your life, carrying you now down toward sleep without any effort of your own. Feel your shoulders soften, and your jaw soften, and the space between your eyebrows go smooth and calm. Feel yourself becoming, more and more, just a warm and low point of star stuff at rest in the great and gentle dark. There is nothing left to do now. There is nowhere left to go. The searching is over, and the wondering is over, and the whole long journey has brought you home, to here, to this bed, to this breath, to this soft and welcoming dark. You are the alien, and you are home. You are the stranger, and you are held. You are made of stars, and you are safe, and you are loved by the very cosmos that made you, and there is nothing more you need to do tonight but let go, and drift, and rest. Let yourself sink now all the way down into the deep and tranquil dark, where everything is held and nothing is ever lost. Let the last light dim. Let the last thought fade. Let yourself go, softly, completely, into sleep. Sleep well.